నమస్కారం అండి. ఎందరో మహానుభావులు ఆర్యవైశ్య ఆనిముత్యాలు, ద పర్ల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్యవైశ్యాస్. ద సక్సెస్ఫుల్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ నాట్ బై యాక్సిడెంట్, దే ఆర్ ఆల్ బై డిజైన్.
Pranam, Jai Vasvi. Welcome to one more episode of Endro Mahanbalu from Unique 360. Today we are going to introduce you one of the pearl who has built a kingdom and a leader in hospitality industry. He is none other than Krishna Mohan Alapati from Southern Hotels and Hospitalities. So, welcome to our show of Endro Mahanbalu, sir. So, every leader has a good start or a bad start. Leaders are not born actually, leaders are made. Can you tell something about your childhood times, where you were born, where you were brought up, your schooling, and what sweet memories you remember, and that will be a message for our community.
So originally we hail from Andhra Pradesh. My father is from a small village called Prasangulapadu with a population of 1,000 people. Then my mother is from Punnur, it's in Guntur district. So my father came in late 60s to Delhi in search of a job. So I was born in Punnur but brought up here.
Okay.
So I did my schooling here. So my father came in late 60s to Delhi to look out of a job. He came here.
Okay.
So then he started this Southern Travels in a very small and humble beginning in a 10 by 10 shop. So I was born in my village Punnur, but I was brought up here in Delhi. I did my schooling here in Delhi. Then I did my college here in Delhi, Venkateshwara College. I did my post-graduation in Chennai. I did my MBA. So that was my background.
So, how was your schooling, sir? What sweet memories you take from the school? And do you remember your teachers and their messages?
It's a long time. Of course, few teachers, those who are in touch now, I remember. But definitely it's a memorable thing. Schooling is you have a tender brain without any hindrances. You have a clean. So definitely it was a sweet memory. So, there was a small community. I studied in a school called Andhra School, where majority of the street children were all from Andhra Pradesh. So, Delhi we have couple of schools, which are owned by the Andhra management. So we have a good memory. Those days the population of Delhi, Andhras were also very few. So we used to have a close-knit family, binding with them. Then college I did from Venkateshwara College, which is under Delhi University. I did my post graduation in commerce. So college was a great time. I remember the teachers. I am in touch with them regularly. So it was a great show. It was one of the best colleges here in Delhi. And later I went to Chennai. I did my post graduation. I did my MBA there. So that was another, which teaches you, which connects you to the next world. So it gave me a lot of insights.
So, what was your takeaway from MBA? Was it really useful for your industry? Was there any take home from the MBA, or like MBA is played an important role in your business?
Definitely, my father, whatever he learned over a period of time, in MBA probably, they'll teach you quickly. So all these B schools, the curriculum is made in such a way where they teach you to the next level. So definitely MBA has played a good role in my life. So of course there are certain things which you have to change it as per the practical approaches. The theoretical and practical are different. But in the basics, the foundation and the logics are strong in MBA. That's what they teach you.
Right. So how was the environment, sir? You were born and brought up in Andhra Pradesh, did your schooling in Delhi and college in Chennai. So a lot of cultural change, social change. So what was your feelings at that time? Languages changed, say Telugu to Hindi, Hindi to Tamil.
No, rather I feel I'm lucky. I got an opportunity to meet various walks of life and various cultures. So when I went there, definitely it's a different cultural difference, but you learn a lot of new things. Then you get to meet a lot of new people in the industry as well from other side also. So it was a great show.
Okay. So after your successful completion of MBA, so you directly entered into business, or you spent some time?
No, I directly entered into my business. So rather I will say the business people's kids are half business people on the dining table. Right. When I was a kid, my dad and mom, my mom was also very active in the business. So they used to discuss so many things, So we became probably 10% business people on the dining table. So after MBA, I joined business only directly. So I was assisting my father.
So at the college time, what was your influence from your friends, or maybe after the college time, before the entrepreneurship or the journey towards business? So how did your friends influence your decisions?
No, I used to have good friends along with me. So they were all nice people. They're all well settled in their life today. So they definitely, it's a different stages of life. You learn at every stage. So definitely, I learned a lot of things from them. It was a great team. So they were all very sincere, studious students.
Can you name some of your friends who really?
I have one friend, he's again from Andhra. His name is Krishnamurthy. We call him Kittu. So he's a chartered accountant. He is in US right now. There's one more friend called Neeraj. He is here in Delhi. He has his own business. Okay. Another friend I have, Kopala Krishnan. He works for Maruti today.
Right. So how did your father felt when you took over the business, or you started helping him in his business? What was his feelings, and what was his decision on you taking over the business?
No, for any father, a grown-up kid comes is definitely a nice feel for him. Yeah. But it took a couple of years for me to come into the mainstream, because it's a training process. But he's a great trainer. He trained me so well. I was directly working under him, so I learned so many things. So he used to meticulously plan everything. He used to teach me from the bottom, and he was a person who came from the scratch. It was all his hard, and he stood. He came. We hail from a very ordinary family, very poor family. He came to Delhi in search of a job. So he had those values, and he has those morals. So same thing he inculcated in the kids also.
Right. What is that morals or values which you learned from your father, and which is very much required for today's entrepreneurship?
Be honest to everyone. Be honest to your family. Be honest to your customers. Be honest to your friends. That is, I think, main mantra I believe today. Once you're honest to your product, I think no one can beat you.
Right. So, what was the key success factor for Southern Travels?
Southern Travels it was started in 1970. It was mostly catering to the middle and upper middle segment of the society. So any middle segment, it's all a hard-earned money for them. Yeah. Whatever you promise, you deliver it. Yeah. And there is no hidden cost in this. Be very honest to your customers as far as service is concerned. True. So that will give you results.
Right. Every leader has to face the problems. So there will be a bad time, there will be a good time. So I know that good time we can enjoy more, and the bad time is the place where leader values should be incorporated or maybe transformed in human. There will be a lot of learnings in bad times. So what was your bad time? Can you share us with our viewers, and how did you overcome this bad time to transform yourself to the success and good times?
So as such, we didn't have honestly no much bad time, okay. But definitely as far as competition is concerned, definitely Delhi being a predominantly a North Indian dominating place, we used to find a little tough initially to do business here. So but slowly because of our honesty and dedication, because of transparency, we overcome all that.
So how many business units you have, sir, apart from Travels?
Travel is our primary business, where we have 12 branches across the country. Apart from that, we also have a hotel division, where company owns around 222 keys inventory. Okay. So we have hotel in Delhi, 105 rooms. Then we have one 4-star deluxe hotel in Jaipur. Okay. Then we have another hotel in Vijayawada with 65 keys.
Right. So you are into hotel, travels, and any other business?
That's it.
Okay, wonderful. So now, administering multiple branches and multiple business pan-India is a real challenging task. At very young age, you adapted these challenges and you took the values from your father. What is the key characteristics for any individual to manage multiple business in terms of human relationship. As you said, you are honest to the customers. That is the key factor of Southern Travels today. So honesty is towards the customers. But how did you manage the staff? How did you run these operations on a day-to-day basis?
The staffing is definitely a key. They play a key role in any of the success of the organization. You have to choose the right person for the right job.
Right.
So probably my father was very good in that, and he taught us the same thing. We have been doing the same thing. So we have the best staff available today. My attrition rate is very, very low. Normally people don't leave us. We have people who have been working with us for last 40 years also.
Okay.
So we take care of them, their well-beings. And some other people we give them some fixed assets also. So we motivate them regularly. The financial matters are taken care, the families are taken care. End of the day, happiness. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Sir, for any leader to be very happy and to manage multiple business and to have all this risk managed on day-to-day basis, the mind should be very much peaceful and not only peaceful in the business, you can take a lot of decisions, good decisions with the environment. So family plays an important role in your business. So how your family supported you in terms of business?
Definitely, family is definitely a major factor for any success of the business. Rather, not only business, for any person, whether he's in a profession or a business, family plays a major role. Luckily, I had a very good wife. She is from Elur.
Okay.
So very understanding wife. She's a homemaker. So I think right from the beginning, though I think initial days, I used to spend a lot of hours in the office. So I used to go home very late, but she was very understanding, She never created any fuss on that. So she was always supportive. I think probably that is one of the success stories, today what I am there.
Perfect.
So today, as you said rightly, if you have some disturbances at home, definitely you cannot perform at all.
Right.
Then your kids. So similarly, your like-minded kids are also important. So
How many
touch
kids
wood,
do you have?
I have 2 daughters and 1 son. Touch wood, all the kids are very, very obedient and sincere, and they're very attached to the culture. The biggest challenge in Delhi, we say when people abroad find it very difficult to, bring their children up because of the cultural differences. Same we have in Delhi also.
Okay.
Here predominantly it's a North Indian dominating thing. The cultures are different. Our South Indian, we are from a conservative background.
Right.
So definitely we also find it difficult to, to cope up those cultures. So my father has played a major role there to bringing up us and the grandchildren. And I'm lucky to have my father. We all stay in the same house. So probably that really gives a lot of in-depth knowledge and, and the care for the kids.
So you stay in a joint family or a nuclear family?
I stay in a joint family. I stay with my father, I'll put it this way.
Okay.
Father and we all.
That's really fantastic. A very right answer, inspiring answer.
And I also like joint family. I mean, that is the biggest strength today. I think a lot of people miss that. They in fact forget the importance of the joint family. Joint family is a big strength. A lot of people face problem being a neutral family. There is no support system.
Right.
So joint family is a great strength. I feel that way.
Right. So what will be the relationships? Did you face any problems in the family, and how did you manage those conflicts if you have any?
Touch wood, we don't have any like that. So small things comes, but they're all, I think, it's a part of the life. That's in every family, and I don't think we have any major things.
What is the message for our community, sir? Would you like to go for neutral family or say the joint family? Which is best?
See, everyone has their own views. The views are framed depending on their life experiences and so many other things. But as per me, especially, I was always in for the joint family. I feel joint family is a great strength. Olden days, if you see, the pressure on human was not there, because any problem comes, it was all shared by the entire family. Right. Today there is a problem, only the wife and husband are taking the load, it's a great pressure, they take tension, thereby their lifestyles also get affected. But in the olden days that concept was not there. Any problem comes, it used to be joint family, family problem.
Family problem, yes.
So your grandparents are there, your maternal uncles are there, they're all there. So I personally feel joint family is a great strength. I am always in for that.
Perfect. You mentioned that your kids are inheriting the values and you are in the environment of values in the family. are they inheriting your business, or they'll be an ambassador for your business in next few years?
That's what I want my kids to do that. My both the daughters are in France now. They've gone to France to do their masters. After masters, they wanted to work for a year and take an international exposure. So both are doing good there. One girl is working in MDS. So the other daughter is working in Nissan. So of course it's an international. They keep calling me every day and telling their experiences. So it's a great thing, and I want them to come and join. But of course, once they marry, I don't know where they will go.
Okay.
But I have a son who has done his 10th class now. So I want him to come and join. So that's what he has taken commerce with maths, and so his ultimate role is to do MBA, then come to and join me.
Southern Travels would be the family business
It's a
for
family.
multiple generations.
Yes.
That's really
Family
interesting.
business with a professional approach.
Perfect.
Today the professionals run the company, so we only guide them.
Right. Sir, you mentioned that Delhi specifically is more competitive for your business, and naturally there'll be a competition for multiple business. But being with this competition, which is neck to neck and maybe very hard, you have won lot of titles and awards in this industry. Can you share some of the proud moments, like which all awards you really felt proud and which you were looking for those kind of awards? And can you name some of the awards which you
We have been getting awards, small and big,
Mhm.
on in the life journey. But out of all, for any highest award in our travel fraternity is the National Tourism Award,
Right.
which is given by the President of the country.
Okay.
So we got that award 8 times continuously.
Wow. Congratulations to
Thank you. So that is the highest award we got from Government of India.
Yeah.
By the recognizing our meritorious services we have been giving to the customers.
Mhm.
So we deal with over 1 lakh of people every year.
Yeah.
And it's not in such a competitive scenario, it's not easy to get a customers. So unless you are honest to your product, you're very dedicated and sincere and give them the value for the money, they will not come back. So today we have a lot of referral business. In fact, I hear from the people, we have business from 3 generations, rather 4 generations.
True.
Grandfather came with his son and son. Now the son comes with his son. Now son's son comes. That's why many times, we conduct holiday bazaars. Couple of holiday bazaars, I got a chance to go there. So people come and tell them, I came to your, I went on a tour with my grandfather.
Right.
So today I'm coming on a honeymoon tour with you.
Okay.
So that kind of messages we keep getting it.
Right. So you have any such award which you didn't get and which you are planning to bag that kind of award, and probably you have all this time.
As a personally, I think we have to contribute a lot to the society. Probably I haven't reached that stage to get an individual award like Padam Shri or something. But definitely one day we'll aim for that. But as far as business is concerned, we have been getting regularly from various state governments and central.
Sir, as a business personality, you have a big business spread across, and you have a profitable business and you are bagging the awards. So today we have a concept of individual social responsibility and the corporate social responsibility. Do you have designed or you're planning to design such kind of activities? So what is your social takeaway or giveaway?
Responsibility. As a CSR activity, we have been doing regular activities like whenever there is any incident in the country, like your floods or any tsunami or something like that, we keep giving a lot of donations there.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, we have been giving awards to the meritorious students. Cash awards we have been giving for last almost 20 years. Here in Delhi schools, those who are performing well, we give them the cash awards.
That's,
Then we are also planning to start one foundation in my family's name, which will be, in fact, we have just thought and we made a list of trustees, and so that will be in my father's and mother's name.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is Alapati Lakshmi Venkateshwara Foundation. So we have in fact told the chartered accountant to process the papers and register it.
I wish you all the best, sir.
Thank
we
you.
need that kind of activities from you. Definitely. All the best to you, sir.
Thank you.
Your business title is Southern Travels, and you are dominated in North India. You have any plans to start up or to capture the market of South India, which is a potential market?
When in 1970 my father started business, the only thought probably came to his mind is, every business should have a USP. If you're in that rat race, no one will make money, no one will achieve. So probably those days, I think it was very hard for the South Indian to come to Delhi and go back successfully without any hindrances. Being a different culture area, language was a big issue, food was a big issue. So he had chosen to serve the people from South India. That is why he started a company and named it as Southern Travels. So those days, when they come, people used to cheat them, they take them around here and there, make money, So there are a lot of inconvenience were there for the South Indian to come. So that was the reason he started. So our majority today, Southern Travels is spread across the country, and we do a lot of foreign tours also. So we are all over the world, we do tours today. So South India also we're very strong, but our majority of the business, if you say, definitely we are at least a few percentages more for South people coming to North India. So same, of course, we have a big chunk of business from North India to South India as well.
For every leader, there will be some role model. Some role model, maybe a family person, or maybe a friend or guru, or maybe any motivator. So who is your role model who turned your life?
My role model is my father. See, my father lost his father when he was 3 years old. So my grandmother brought him up with great difficulties. We were from a very poor, ordinary family. With great difficulties he brought him. But he was always studious and sincere. So he came, he did his studies with the help of, scholarships. So in fact, wherever scholarship used to go, he used to opt only those colleges because financial was money was a big problem. So he came with great difficulties. He came to North India. He came to North India to write his civils. He was through with the written exam. He lost in the interview. So that made him to start a business. So he took a small shop, that too with a pagdi of 7,000 rupees those days, and an OIT telephone for 3,000 rupees. He keeps telling me all these things. So 10,000 rupees he borrowed from his friends, sold some jewelry. He started a very small shop, 10 by 10 in Karol Bagh only. So with his honesty and vision and hard work, so he kept on growing. With the help of a bank, we took loan for one bus. That's how we kept serving the people. So that by step. So he is a great person. So he is my role model.
Role model for business, values, and
yes, definitely.
That's really
today we carry a great respect in the society as well. North India is a very dominating and very competitive market. So a lot of people like us, a lot of people talk about my father even today. Especially these areas, they keep telling their kids, I keep meeting them, some people after 20 years, 15 years, they say, we know you, we know father with his value systems. We were very honest right from the beginning, very transparent, a clean track record. That's all very important. If you're honest to your product, honest to your colleagues, honest to your staff, honest to your friends. So that's a great mantra, I believe.
That's a really good statement, sir. Being a Aryavesha community, what is your message to the Aryavesha community, looking into the trends, what is happening in the society today? So what is a single liner message for Aryavesha community from you?
See, the next generation, the present generation of Aryavaishas are very, very dynamic. They're really doing very well. I'm very happy for that. But definitely more and more people should come out. No doubt, we were always known for giving donations only. So I feel, we should be risk takers. We should come out ourselves and excel in every line, whether it is politics, whether it is business. We have been already doing it. And, we have to take risk, go to the next level. Most of our businesses are in a small level. So but I'm very happy the next generation is taking to the next level now. They're coming out of the conservative concepts and then coming,
Perfect, yeah. So what are the qualities, according to you, should be adapted by a leader of any community organization? There are many community organizations across the country. According to you, what qualities a leader of a community organization should carry to build the unity of the Aryavesha community and take it to the next level?
See, a focused, vision, and you have a clear-cut road. Where do you want to approach? You should have a clear what is your goal and where to achieve.
Right. So one should have a clear path and goal.
Yes.
So what is your goal for 2025? Either maybe business or maybe personal goals, or can you share us?
Yeah. No, in the business, of course, we are going to plan an IPO now, because that's been a lot of our customers are also been telling us.
Right.
So all these years we were little conservative. We were not doing very heavily openly. So now I think we are planning for an IPO.
I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you. And we wanted to start. We wanted to acquire few hotels on lease and ownership basis.
Right.
But 2025 we have big plans to start a chain of hotels. More hotels now. Right now we have only 222 keys. So probably by 2025 we'll take it to 1,000 keys.
We all wish you to achieve that and take your business to the next level. So
Thank you.
now, we got the message from you to the leaders of Aryavesha community. What is your message to the youths of Aryavesha community?
See, today, especially from Andhra Pradesh, I will tell you, our people are very studious, very honest, they excel. But as far as personality is concerned, they have to invest a lot of time and money for improving their personality. That is one message which I've been noticing. That is one point I've been noticing among the youth today. Till 30, you never work for the money. You work for improving your personality. You put whatever input you can put it within you. That's very important. But most of the people, they don't have focus. They just for petty 1,000, 2,000 rupees, they change jobs. And they don't excel. So my only thing is you improve your personality. That is very, very important. Self personality. There are a lot of courses available today. So many options are there. Internet, you go. A lot of options are there.
Yeah.
So everyone should look into their personality development. And someone was the other day mentioning, that the current 21st century is only for extroverts. So I feel one should excel towards becoming an extrovert from an introvert, even if he.
What is your opinion on technology which is changing the culture as a whole, as a community, or as the country itself? So that there is a lot of technology which is actually changing the relationships or breaking the relationships. Technology is a tool actually, but it is making or breaking the relationships. You would have seen a lot of cases on a day-to-day basis. So what is your opinion on technology which is changing the culture?
See, technology is a great revolution now. But because of the technology, you get some comforts. And turns out comforts doesn't come free, of course. It comes with a cost. So one should know how to handle things. See, today, in fact, probably we are in a transition stage. It's a sudden change for us. So, there are no case studies for us to understand what is right and what is wrong. So, one has to, the elders have to guide them properly and tell them what is wrong and what is wrong. Already some, things which are all proven wrong, or, there are people to teach you. So, technology, there are a lot of good things as well, and one should have an adaptability for a change. Because the way things are going on fast, every business should be adopting the new changes, otherwise you will fade away.
Fantastic, sir. Very good messages for us. Now, we all discussed about your journey, your college, student life, friends, family, the message for the community and the youths. Now let us take the questions to rapid fire. So I'll be asking a number of questions to you related to your personal hobbies or maybe different questions. So I have to give one quick answer. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So what is your favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite sport?
I'm not very good in sports, but I keep watching cricket because of my son.
Okay. So you're fit actually. What is the secret of your fitness?
My secret, majority I will say food. I'm not a great food lover, but I'm very cautious about food,
Okay.
So then of course I do few exercises.
Okay. So coming back to rapid fire again, what is your favorite dish?
My favorite dish is gongura pappu.
Okay. Even I do like that. Okay. Favorite hero
Favorite hero is Mahesh Babu.
and heroine?
Heroine Ileana.
Oh, good. Which is your favorite movie, sir?
Favorite in the recent years, if you see, I think Bahubali was one of the best movies. Bahubali 2.
Okay. Good. Good. And favorite leader?
Favorite leader Chandrababu Naidu.
Favorite author?
Favorite author, I'm not good in books.
You're not good in books. Okay. So favorite politician?
Favorite politician, two people I admire. I think one is Modi, Narendra Modi. Other one is Chandrababu Naidu.
Okay.
Both have similar qualities,
Mm-hmm. Do you blog, sir? Do you write any blogs in the net?
Not much.
Okay. So your favorite social media?
Favorite social media is Twitter. I follow, though I'm there on the Twitter. I'm not very active, which I'm planning to start now. But of course, Facebook is one thing which I only use it for connecting people, connecting old friends, some known like-minded people.
So favorite destination? Being in a holiday industry.
In the recent years, what I've gone is Switzerland is one of the best destinations I found it. I've traveled to almost 29 countries, but I found that Switzerland is one of the beautiful places.
Interesting. So, sir, today any business takes the support of technology. We are all discussing about the technology now. The e-commerce played an important role, either in settling down the market or bringing the market up. So today, if anybody want to purchase something, you have an option, either e-commerce or visit a shop. So what will be the impact of e-commerce to the current business and how to overcome it?
No, you're right. See, there are advantages and disadvantages for e-commerce. I'll tell you a few specific examples, to make you, so that I can communicate well. See, e-commerce is nice, for a consumer point of view. Definitely, he is able to reach every product in a very easy manner, very conveniently. But from a vendor point of view, no doubt, the new opportunities are coming up in terms of your employment. But there are a lot of people who are fading away. I think government should have a regulatory body to keep in check and balances, so that the old people don't die and the new people, no doubt, it's an opportunity for many people. In our own industry, if you see, for example, the new e-commerce concepts, they burn a lot of money. All these venture capitalists, they put the money. So I know only one business. If the manufacturing cost is 10 rupees for a pen, 1 rupee is my other overheads. I make another 1 rupee profit and sell it for 12 rupees is a standard business, which everyone knew, and that is what is taught to us. But unfortunately, today the manufacturing cost of 10 rupees item is sold for 5 rupees. So they're burning money, which is not a good sign. I think that is what I think government should keep a check and balances. See, it's like big fish coming and eating away a small fish. So what is happening? No doubt, new opportunities are coming, new employment. A lot of people are being employed in this industry. But a lot of old conventional businesses are slowly dying. Whether it is a 2-tier city or a 1-tier or 3-tier of cities, wherever it is, that's a new trend which is now coming up. It's a good sign. E-commerce is very good. I am for it only. But only thing is, government should keep a regulatory body and see that an undue advantage is not taken. That is one thing.
So, apart from risk factors, e-commerce is really good according to you.
Yes, it's a change. That is the need of the hour. You have to the technological change. We cannot say no. But only thing is, everywhere there are plus and minuses. I think one should the people sitting in the center or with the government, it is their job to evaluate, put a committee and see what are the minus and plus of that, and do it.
Sir, today the India is capital for the startup country. That means there are many government subsidies and schemes which motivates the startup companies, like say Make in India, or maybe any other startup from NASCOM, or maybe different government institutes. Fortunately or unfortunately, the business community in the Arya Vaishyas are moving away. It's getting faded off. So being a business community, right now we don't have that charisma of business in Arya Vaishyas. So what is your message to the youths? Should we go for the new business, or how to get back the business title for Arya Vaishya community?
Business is something, which runs the country. Country needs money. Money is only generated from the business. So the more and more entrepreneurs should come. That is what is a message for every youngster. I always say, there are every worker, every human being is a worker. Eventually some became leaders and some remain as workers. So more and more people should become leaders, start their own startups. So which helps themselves and helps the country also to grow. See, today thousands and lakhs of people go abroad. Why do they go abroad? Because the opportunities are here, they won't go. They well paid and opportunities are better here. So India, I think in this startup and our Make in India, that is what our government is also planning. They want more and more entrepreneurs to come.
So, what is your message to the community people to start the business? Because many of the youths are really worried and they are looking out for the job instead of starting up the business, which traditionally it was the other way.
Other way.
Many of them used to ask, like, what is your business? Now they are asking, where are you working?
That is, it is again linked to the e-commerce. If you see, this change has come in last few years. See, now every business needs a lot of money. Unfortunately, it's not like an earlier conventional business with little money. Everyone used to start a business, but for every business now, small timers are finding it very difficult. So, for my message is, whatever business you are there. If supposing my father is running a cloth shop, the boy should try to excel in the cloth shop and do something innovative, not to go away. There are opportunities. We keep reading in the magazines and newspapers. Today a foreign return, US 20 years he's in US, today he comes and starts his agriculture business. He wants to take it to the next level with innovative models. So today I think one should not leave the business. He should continue and take the help. A lot of consultants are available today. And I also request Endro Mahanubalu team, to conduct classes in various places in Andhra Pradesh and various places across the country, where the achievers are going, giving a talk show. And you can also make a consultative committee who can help in setting up the business. There could be a small fees, doesn't matter, but people don't know. Today if any successful people you say I have a team of 20 consultants. For any problem I go and approach them, because the consultant's job is to give you the best expert opinion. So my recommendation is not to leave the business. You have to be a fighter, every minus and plus are there in every business. So one should positively take it forward, And hard work will always pay you. That is one single mantra I say: hard work, hard work, hard work.
Perfect.
So there is no substitute for hard work.
Right. Sir, Unique 360 Endro Mahanubalu is a project which is looking out for all the leaders and messages from various achievers in the community. So far we have documented and taken the audio visuals of many leaders across the country. What is your message on Unique 360 Endro Mahanubalu projects?
Endro Mahanubalu Unique 360 is doing a great job, See, today we read a lot of books, we go through a lot of blogs, only for an expert opinion. Life will teach you so much of thing. So Unique 360 is doing a great job, by talking to the achievers and bringing their message to the community or, to the youth. So it's a great job. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much for spending some time with the Endro Mahanubalu team and your valuable messages from your father, and sharing many secrets for the success. Thanks a lot for spending time with us, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, this was the interview of one of the leader, Krishna Mohan Alapati from Southern Travels. Hope you really enjoyed it and take all the values, take the statements from the experiences of the entrepreneur, and together we will wish him all the best for the visions and take the Southern Travels to international standards and win many more awards. Thank you very much, sir. All the best.